All right, welcome back in. It's the Pine Room on the Watchdog here on a Friday afternoon as the bad weather starts to roll into town. We got a full house here now. It started out with a skeleton crew, just me, Coach, and Lola. And now we're joined by Soup, Coley, and Jarrett. And now we're really pleased to be joined on the phone by Mr. Sir Yacht, the content creator and super fan of the Cleveland Browns. You can see his stuff everywhere. Sir Yacht on Instagram, Twitter, X, everything. Sir Yacht, welcome to the show. I'm sure you're pretty excited about the Brownies' big playoff game tomorrow.
Yeah, man. First off, thanks for having me, guys. Second, yeah, I think excitement is an understatement. I'm having just a lot of anxiety, just really any sort of feeling that you could have in life, kind of just blended into one. That's kind of what I feel right now. But I am what a world we live in, that Joe Flacco is the one that could potentially lead the Cleveland Browns to the promised land. It's a cruel world out there, but, man, it's been really fun.
Hey, Yacht, I wanted to ask you, man, what's the emotions been like over the last 4 or 5 weeks? You guys got one of the best defenses in football, and now you're watching Joe Flacco come back from sleeping on the couch to roll into play action and dice up defenses for 400 yards. What's that been like?
Yeah, it's been wild. I think everybody was really dejected. The Browns are 7-3, and then Deshaun out for the year. So everybody's like, well, looks like maybe we could sneak into the playoffs, but we probably aren't going to do too much. And then we hear Joe Flacco, and everybody wanted Dorian Thompson-Robinson to play. He goes down. It's like, all right, we'll just roll with Flacco. And then, he has a pretty good game against the Rams. He has some interceptions, but he threw some, great touchdowns, great plays. I'm like, okay. And then something really developed. I'm like, okay, maybe we have something special here. So it's I was at the Browns-Jets game when they clinched a couple weeks ago, and that was a Thursday night game, so it's, amazing atmosphere. And that was the best atmosphere I'd experienced. I go to a lot of Browns games. Best atmosphere I've experienced since a Thursday night game in 2018 against the Jets as well, when Baker came in to win the Browns their first game in like 20 tries. Like, it was just it's a feeling like, again, like the Cavs, it's so weird. I tell it to people all the time. The Cavs won in 2016, and that was amazing. The Indians at the time, they almost won, and that was a surreal feeling. But when the Browns win a game, it's like a Super Bowl. Like, it's just this will always be a Browns town, no matter what the other sports teams do, and that's no disrespect, but that's just how much people here love Cleveland, and I love the Browns.
So what's tomorrow going to be like for you? Take us through it. Where are you going to be? How anxious are you going to be when you wake up in the morning? Give us the whole rundown of what's going to happen.
Guys, I'm anxious right now. Like, I just tweeted, I was like, I had like a pit in my stomach. Like, it feels good, but that's such a good feeling to have. Like, I feel like it just didn't really have that this season or even last season a little bit. That anxiety is like a good anxiety. But I'll tell you what, tomorrow I'll wake up, I'll be fired up. Might have to have a couple brewskis, get some to calm the nerves. Yeah, I used to be in like choir performances and even like whatever other things. And I would have, they call it liquid courage. You have a couple drinks, take the nerves off. Maybe that's what I got to do tomorrow. But it's gonna be awesome. I'm just going to watch it like Joe Flacco did the first 11 weeks of the year. I'm going to be on my couch, relaxing and with my family, and hopefully rooting on the Browns to win over the Texans.
Let's go.
Will you be creating any content tomorrow during the game? Things, obviously game related?
I'm thinking about it. I will for sure jump in Lake Erie. I typically do that.
Oh my!
I typically do that, and it is cold. It is very cold today, and there's a gale warning this weekend, so it will be. I tell you what, though, if I have a couple beers in me and the Browns win, it's like you don't even feel it. It's like with the players it's like the NFL players when they play in like sub-freezing temperatures, and they just they have so much adrenaline that they are able to do that. I feel like I'll have a little bit of that in me tomorrow if they win. But again, we all know, you guys all know the history of the Cleveland Browns. Like, we're not counting our chickens before they hatch, or whatever the saying is. I have no idea. But we're not. We got to win the game first. We can look ahead. We can do all this stuff. But I've watched too many Browns games to know that it's going to be ugly. It's going to be scary. And maybe I'll open my eyes at the end and see if they won. That's the hope.
What worries you most about the Texans?
C.J. Stroud, without a doubt.
Yep.
And so many people are like, he's a rookie. D'Amico Ryans is a rookie. They got all these rookies. But we know how – I mean, nobody here is counting out the Texans. We know C.J. Stroud is a dog. Actually, it's really funny. A couple of years ago, C.J. Stroud had his second career game at Ohio State, and he was playing really bad. They were playing really bad against a team they pay to come and play. I remember tweeting, and I was like, I would rather watch Johnny Manziel play quarterback for the Browns than C.J. Stroud ever again.
Uh-oh.
And then I saw that the other day, and I was like, well, that was a horrible tweet. That was a really bad one. But C.J. Stroud is awesome. I think more than that, he's just an awesome person. You see his interviews and everything. He has a great head on his shoulders, not afraid to talk about his faith. Just an absolute great guy. So, having said that, I do want to see him lose, but I am rooting for him the rest of the way. But I do want the Browns to kick his butt around. But nobody's doubting him here that he's gonna do well, being a rookie or not. Playing at Ohio State and playing at the biggest stages, he's ready for it for sure, especially a home playoff game.
Hey, we just got and sat down right before you called. One of our guys wanted to know where Sir Yacht came from. Was that a name that you had coming through high school, or when did that all start? I know on the TikToks and the videos and the crazy videos, but where did Sir Yacht, the name, come from?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, when I went to college at Ohio Wesleyan, I've been making music pretty much my entire life, or always been kind of like an artist, musician of some sort. And I had a name that I didn't really like, and I was like, I want to switch it to something that's maybe 2 syllables, shows my love for water, and lets people know that I'm a person and not like a band or something. So I was just kind of I liked yacht, and then I wanted to add a thing at the beginning, like Mr. or whatever, and it came across Sir. I kind of just roll off the tongue, and then I started making music when I was in college, 2015, or under that name, 2015, 2016, and then New Year's Eve 2017, the Browns go 0-16 against the third stringer Steelers, and my friend's you got to make a video, you got to make a rant or something. I'm like, dude, I don't do that stuff. That's crazy. He's like, you should do it. I'm like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow on New Year's Day. He's like, no, do it now. So long story short, I make a rant about the Browns going 0-16, and Hugh Jackson said he would jump in the lake if they did. And I went to Lake Erie and I scouted. I'm scouting all these places for him to jump in while just cursing him out and so pissed. Wake up New Year's Day on SportsCenter, Snapchat, and a few other media conglomerates picked it up, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm making videos now. So that's just kind of how it rolls.
Yeah, I wanted to we'll get to the Costco situation here in a second, but before that, I want to talk about your last couple years. You've gone across the country, you've done some ridiculous stuff that's unbelievably funny. What's something that sticks out to you that you got to go and do, and you're like, you know what, that was a blast. Even though I got to make all this content, that was a ton of fun. Was there anything that sticks out more than others?
I think what you just kind of said, I just finished the trip September, October, going to all 50 United States capitals in a 30-day period. I turned 30 in late October, and I always wanted to say I went to all 50 states. I wanted to check out the capitals because there's obviously some significance there. And I was like, you know what? I want to do something really big before I turn 30. And now that I'm 30, I'm like, I don't know. I thought being in my 20s, I'm like, being 30 is that's old. I'm like, I don't really feel, I don't feel any different. It's just, but anyways, I did that, and it was definitely the most difficult thing I ever did. I traveled probably about 500 miles of driving a day, probably 12, 14-hour drives. People across the country, I have friends who are like, oh, we should hang out. I'm like, I have no time. You come to me and hang out for a half hour, and then I got to go. But I got to see Alaska. I got to see Hawaii. I got to see Oregon countryside. Even Annapolis is really pretty. It was the most remarkable thing. Montana, it was just the country is so beautiful. There's so many awesome people around it as well, just really good people. There's also a lot of nothing. I would not recommend driving down I-10 in Texas or in North Dakota at night like I did. Do not recommend that. But that's probably by far the pinnacle of what I've done in terms of the effort and just being able to say I did that, it was really special.
Okay, let's shift gears here to the Costco situation. I mean, this is unbelievable. People Magazine picked it up. I mean, who knows how many interviews you've done recently. Where in the world did the idea come from to eat hot dogs for 7 days straight? And how did you lose weight? Are you working out while you're eating the hot dogs? Tell us all about it.
It's so funny. My girlfriend loves Costco. I mean, a lot of people love Costco. She loves Costco. So she always would bring up the $1.50, Costco hot dog meal, which I've heard of, but I'm like, I can't believe it's still a thing. She got me a hat for Christmas that said "Bad Day to be a hot dog" on it. It's in Costco font. I wore it during the video project, and it kind of got my brain spurring to I have an idea. What if I ate nothing but the Costco hot dog meal for a week? Just kind of see how much I spent, see if I would get sick of it, see if I could do it. Maybe I'll lose weight. I had a feeling I would because like you said, yes, I would walk. I usually walk 10, 15 miles a day. Just listen to podcasts, get emails done, do some brainstorm and stuff like that. Kind of two birds, one stone. Do some working out. I drink a gallon of water every day. Had Flintstone dinosaur daily vitamins, the essentials in life. It was really fun. I never got sick of it once. I did I lost 4.2 pounds in 7 days. I actually weighed myself day 2, so I really lost 4.2 pounds in 5 days.
Wow. 5
or 6 days, which is, the average. You're supposed to, a healthy amount, I believe, is 1 to 2 pounds. So it's not sustainable. But I said it multiple times during it. It's the best deal in showbiz. $1.50 in 2024 is it's unheard of, man. That's wild. So it was really fun, and it's got me kind of thinking about other projects that it's so funny. I know I'm rambling here, but I made a video kind of just it was just supposed to be for a YouTube project, long form. So anyway, I was I'll make a video on Instagram just telling people about it. Made it in 2 minutes. Has 5.1 million views on Instagram now, and it has more views. Something I made in 2 minutes has more views than all my 50 Capitals recap videos on all social media platforms combined. I'm you gotta be kidding me. But yeah, People Magazine, all these places picked it up. A while. I can't believe that. That's crazy.
Fascinating stuff. Talking with Sir Yacht, Brown superfan and social media influencer, Pine Room on the Watchdog.
Yeah, hey, Sir Yacht, I want to ask you, will you consider doing something like this again, or is this it for you with the hot dogs?
No, I got some ideas. Maybe a lot of people have been sending me the IKEA hot dogs. A lot of people have been sending me the IKEA hot dogs because they're smaller but a lot cheaper. You can get 74 for $38. I'm I don't know where those. At least Costco hot dogs are quality. But no, I got some good ideas. At least I think are good ideas in my head as stuff like this. There's one that I'm gonna do in February that either late January or February that you'll if you see it you'll know that it'll be I can't believe somebody is doing that. I promise you'll see it and you're oh, I remember him telling me about this. This is insane. So that'll be fun. But yeah, definitely some ideas like that.
At any point did the Costco workers start to know you by name throughout that week when you kept coming back for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Yeah. I think a few of them followed me on social media, so that was really cool. And then the other ones that didn't, I told them about the project, and they looked at me like I had two heads. And I was just yep, that's what I'm doing. They're why? I'm if you're asking why, it's too late at this point. If I'm asking why I'm doing stuff as a quote-unquote content creator or whatever, then I don't know, for fun, for science, for whatever, I don't know. You could say anything. But, everyone was super great. Shout out to the people that made the hot dogs, too. Made me a happy camper. It was a good time.
Hey,
my job last week was to eat hot dogs. What a world.
Not bad.
We wanted to ask you a little bit about growing up and where you come from and all that stuff. I know you're an athlete. We see all the videos of you running around, jumping around. Play any sports in high school, college? How'd that go? And tell us how you grew up.
Yeah. So I grew up on the west side of Cleveland, a town called Rocky River. Great community, great area. Played basketball in high school. Went to play college at Ohio Wesleyan college basketball. We had a pretty good team my junior and senior year. Not because of me. We had just a lot of talented people on there. I was a solid role player, but not an instrumental role. Also, if Ohio Wesleyan is listening, I have one more year of eligibility because I medically redshirted my sophomore year. So I drunk tweeted at them the other day that like, hey, give me 6 months and I'm ready. And I'm like, I'm 30. Like that's scary.
Tough to come back now.
Yeah, but my dad won his first ever cross country race varsity in high school. So I never did it, but I do have like the endurance gene in me, and what's great too is all these videos I do, like you said, like I did a video last year. I dribbled a basketball for 24 hours. I do a lot of endurance stuff. Like I feel like if I wasn't filming, it was tough. I feel like if I wasn't filming it, I wouldn't have the motivation to do that, eat hot dogs, or whatever. But I feel like because it's like a project, and I'm like, oh, I can just like if I put this together, like I think it'll be really cool to watch, and maybe it'll get like a good like reaction, viewership, and things like that. That fires me up, just like I was playing basketball in front of X amount of people, like in a weird way.
What is I watched the video of you talking about the capitals you drove through in all the different states. Tell us about how bad actually one of the Idahos were, or how bad Texas was driving through.
Yeah. So actually, Idaho was, other than the speeding ticket I got there, going over 100 miles an hour and an 80 mile an hour thing, they searched me for an hour, and they thought I was like trafficking bodies and drugs.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm just doing a capitals trip. And they didn't believe me until they searched my car for an hour, and then they found shot glasses from every state that I've been to. And they're like, okay.
Were you driving? Did you have Ohio plates when you were up there?
Yes, and you want to hear a funny story about that? So they were questioning that. They're like, Ohio, what are you doing here from Ohio? My birthday is in late October, like I just said. I went to go, like every year, obviously, you know, your expiration thing gets put a new sticker on your license plate. My license plate had a sticker from 2022 on it. So for the past year and a half or so, I had an expired license plate. I was pulled over by 3 cops for an hour, and they never noticed the entire time.
Wow.
Wild to think about. They questioned everything else. They're like, if you just admit you have cocaine right now, we'll let you off. And I'm like, that's BS. Like, that's not how it works. And also, I don't have it. No, but Idaho was fantastic. Texas, North Dakota is bad because there's nothing, and you're just like, you kind of just go crazy. Like, I don't think people realize what nothing is until you go to North Dakota. But Texas is worse. Route 10, I-10, coming from El Paso and then going towards like San Antonio, Austin. It's not just nothing. There are no exits. There's no people. It's for hours. I had gas. I had to get gas. It was empty, and I had like 30 miles left in my tank, and I had to drive 20 miles off the highway to go to like a remote like desert town and get gas. And I was like, this is where I die. This is where I die. So I do not recommend that. That was the worst part of the trip by far. And like driving from Phoenix to Austin was about a 15 and a half hour drive. We started from Tucson the day before, so it was just a bad day.
How many capitals did you hit? Did you hit them all?
I did, and I hit Washington, D.C. as well, so 51 total destinations, including Honolulu and Juneau, Alaska.
That's quite impressive.
Hey, I'm looking at this this Instagram when you ate a stick of butter for every that is literally one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. I don't know how you did it, and it wasn't just a small stick of butter. It looked like a big, like one of those bigger sticks.
Oh, no, yeah.
That is disgusting. How did you do that?
Again, I agree with you. I agree. I want to shout out plumbers first off.
I see you headed to the bathroom
appreciate
there.
that. But again, if I wasn't filming it, I don't think I would do it. It's just like it gives me kind of like a purpose of doing it. I'm like, it's just something silly and fun to do, and like
fun.
People watch it, great. If people don't, like, I'm like, I can't believe I did that. I don't know. For now. Maybe when I have kids and a family one day, I'll be like, yeah, I was an idiot.
Is that the toughest thing you've ever done? Is try to down two sticks of? Thank God I didn't score like 48 points that day.
Oh, I know, for real. No, I've done like lemons, limes, like with the rind and everything. I tried eating a pineapple with the rind, and that didn't work. I was like, that's disgusting.
That's dangerous.
The one chip challenge is really bad. I've done plenty of things that are like terrible that you should not eat. I forget what else. Oh, I ate no, this is the worst one by far. I was like, there's one that was really bad. I actually got a lot of heat for it, deservedly so. I didn't eat it. I spat it out. But I bit into an entire stick of deodorant earlier this year.
Oh boy.
It was so bad. It was like, I forget what flavor it was, but it's like
Flavor.
yeah. I mean, it didn't taste like it; just smelled like it in my mouth. But then the funniest part was, it's antiperspirant deodorant, so my entire mouth was just dry for like 3 hours, and I was just like chugging water at the Browns game, trying to, like it felt like I had cotton mouth. Not that I've ever had the devil's lettuce before, but I have maybe once or twice. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is terrible. So yeah, that was the worst one by far, and I had to put a bunch of disclaimers out because I have some kids that follow me online.
Right.
Hey, don't do this.
You don't want it to be the next Tide Pod thing. Yeah, you don't want that.
Wow.
Definitely not.
Oh,
Hey,
no. I don't want to get a legal team. So
no, definitely
we'll
not.
leave it at
At least not for a while yet. You're still early in the game. All right, so
Exactly.
so Yacht, tell the listeners a little bit about where they can follow you, all your platforms, and then I see you got this yachting apparel stuff on here, which is pretty cool. Just tell everybody a little bit about all your stuff.
Yeah, thanks. So, like you said, everywhere at the beginning of the show, Twitter, ours formerly known as Twitter, now X. TikTok, Instagram is like probably the biggest thing, right? TikTok and Instagram are the biggest, and YouTube, Facebook, at Yacht. I got some really fun stuff planned for 2024, and I'm always coming up with ideas and things like that. And I do I do town videos and things like that. So I've been to Wheeling twice to do some videos. I worked with the CBB, love it there, and I want to shout out my boy Bobby, who runs Taqueria.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's a legend. He's one of the coolest dudes. If you're listening to this, go get Taqueria 304 right now. Best tacos I've ever had. You got to have them. If you haven't, you're missing out. So just wanted to shout him out. He's the man. Really good dude.
All right, so give us the prediction on the game tomorrow. What's the final score, and do the Brownies come out on top?
Yeah, I think they come out on top. The season's different. It's not the same old Browns. We said that in 2020. But they're playing with house money right now, and the boys in the locker room, they're tight. They are as tight as this franchise has ever been. I'm gonna say Browns 27 because there's just gonna be a missed extra point. They don't have to take it.
Yes,
Browns 27. So to make it interesting, I'll say Texans 24. That's my final
Oh,
score.
man.
Right. I like it.
Hey, Yacht, I'm going to go with you here. Whatever you tell me, I'm betting. Give me a first touchdown scorer for the Cleveland Browns today. Or for tomorrow. Who do you like?
For the Browns, I would say David Njoku.
Okay, I'm on it.
I think he's been pretty reliable. Amari Cooper is also a pretty safe bet as well for him to get a touchdown. I would go between Amari and David Njoku, but there's that connection between both of those guys is special. But I would say Njoku. And again, I'm not the greatest gambler, so
That's all right. Neither are we.
None of us are.
Neither are we.
Neither
We
are
have
we.
a gambling show.
Yeah. David Njoku 10-1. I like it. All right. Well, Yacht, best of luck tomorrow in the game. Best of luck with everything. Keep in touch, and we'll talk to you down the road.
sounds good, guys. Thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. That's Sir Yacht, Browns super fan and social media influencer. Soup, good get there.
Yeah, he's the man,
We'll
dude.
talk more about his appearance after the break. It's the Pine Room on the Watchdog as we roll on with our final hour on a Friday. We'll be right back after this.